Hey guys, so today is going to be a quick review and demo of the new Revlon foundation. This is the Revlon ColorStay Whipped Cream Makeup Foundation. I picked this up at H-E-B a few days ago. This retailed for, I want to say I paid $13.99 for it, and I did not have a coupon. I want to say that this is going to be part of their permanent collection because I did notice that it wasn't just like an end aisle display item, it was in with the regular products as well. I'm not sure how long this has been out, but I know it is a fairly new product. I have heard about it here on YouTube, but I wanted to do my own personal review and demo it for you guys so I can give you an idea of what I think about it. So this is, I guess, marketed to be like a mousse textured foundation. It is also marketed to be 24 hours. If you're interested, I got the color 200 Sand Beige. The color range on this, I could say, was actually pretty decent. There was about 16 shades, and I did notice there was a wide variety of shades. There was probably 2 shades that I could actually be. I think the one above this was 220 Nude, and that one worked quite well on me as well, but it was a little too, like, on the pinky side where I wanted a little bit more of a yellow base. So the Sand Beige actually worked out perfectly. Now for the, between $13 and $14, you are getting a total of, let's see, 0.8 fluid ounces. It's kind of hard to describe the texture. I don't really consider this to be anywhere near a liquid, and I don't really consider it anywhere near a cream. It's kind of in between. Amarique's put it really well when she said it's kind of like a milkshake consistency, because that's really what it is. It is creamy enough to where if you tip the jar over, you will have foundation spill out, but it's not going to just run all over the floor immediately. So the next thing is going to be packaging. As you can see, the packaging is quite substantial. If you haven't seen this, it is quite large. It's almost the size of my palm. It is quite heavy as well. That being said, if you have a large collection, storage for this is going to be a little bit difficult. It does fit in my clear cube, but it barely fits, and it takes up quite a lot of room. So that would be probably my #1 concern, depending on what kind of storage system you have. It can be a bulky product, and even though it does look nice, and I feel like the glass jar makes it look more of like a high-end foundation, like something you would find at a Chanel counter or something like that, it does give it, it's aesthetically pleasing, I can say. I don't know that it's very practical in the sense that it is bulky and very heavy, and if you drop this on your toe, it would probably hurt. Okay, so I've actually applied this a couple different ways already, and I'm gonna show you guys the way I apply it, the way that I like it best. But I am gonna run down how I have applied it because I've had this for a couple of days and I've already tried it a couple different ways. So the first day that I had it, I used my fingers to apply it because I was so anxious to use it. I didn't have any makeup, but my face wasn't clean when I put it on, and so I just used my fingers and just kind of, put it into the into my oily skin. Really is what happened. When I did that, I did not really like the, I guess, texture that it gave my face when I put it on with my fingers. That being said, because I have oily skin and my face was already a little bit shiny from the rest of the day, putting it on over already oily skin, if that makes any sense, really soaked up my oils, and actually it kept my face matte for the rest of the night, which I was really surprised. It was a good 3 hours before my skin started to get oily again, which it was already oily to begin with, and I didn't clean it or anything to apply the foundation. So I was actually really surprised at that. However, like I said, the texture that it gave my face, I just wasn't a huge fan of. Then yesterday, I applied it just with my F80 flat top kabuki from Sigma, and I did not like the texture that it gave this for me either. It's kind of a thicker foundation, so when you apply it, you really need to be sparing when you blend it in because it doesn't dry that quickly, but it's not liquid enough to where it moves a whole lot. Once you place it on a spot, you kind of have to work quickly with it because it doesn't dry, but it's a thick enough foundation to where it's going to soak in more in the place that you put it than if you just rub it in your face immediately. So that was how I did it day before yesterday. I've had it for 3 days, day before yesterday. Yesterday, what I did was I just used a stippling brush. So I used this one. This is the F50 by Sigma, the Duo Fiber. And then I also have the stippling brush from Real Techniques. I used this one, and then I went back and buffed with this one, and I liked that the best. I feel like you could apply it with a stippling brush just to give you that airbrush finish, and then you could buff it in with your F80 Kabuki, but if you have dry skin, I think this would make your dry skin show up a little bit more, and that wouldn't really work. I don't have dry skin, so either way is fine with me, but that's how I'm going to apply it today. So what I'm going to do if you notice, here's the little lid that comes off of the thing. This is actually quite dangerous to hold because this is kind of hard to grasp to get it out of here. So what I like to do is just kind of set this in the cap and not even worry about it. However, for the sake of this tutorial and also for the sake of sanitary purposes, I would suggest either using like a little spatula or a very clean brush to dip in here, because it's just not going to be sanitary doing it like this. It's too creamy of a product. It's going to build up bacteria almost immediately. So I don't actually have a spatula here with me, so my hands are clean. I'm going to go ahead and just scoop off some of the foundation and put it on the back of my hand and then work from it like that. So that way I don't have to worry about that. So I've taken about that much. Like I said, I probably won't need all of that foundation, but I put it on here just to be on the safe side, and I actually put it on the wrong hand. But I'm just going to go ahead and take my brush, bounce it around like that, if you can see how much I have on there. And this is a pretty full coverage foundation, so I would not suggest using this much unless you're planning on getting full coverage. And then I'm just going to go ahead and bounce that all around. So I did notice that I got a little bit too much on my brush. As you can see, the bristles are clumping up there, and I wasted a bunch on the back of my hand. That's one downside to this product, is that it's easy to waste it because you don't know how much you're going to need. It's kind of like a foundation that you pour out because you don't know how much you're going to need. If you pour too much out, it's going to be too hard to put it back in the bottle. So I'm not going to use this brush anymore because I don't want to apply any more foundation to my face. I'm going to go in with my Real Techniques brush, and I'm just going to continue to pounce that on my skin and then buff it in. And you'll magically see my skin turn from blotchy and red to even. Okay, as you can see, it is really, my skin is really matte. I didn't use a primer, and I don't set it with a powder, and it really keeps my skin like this for a good 3 or 4 hours before it even gets slightly dewy, which for some of you guys who wear foundation all day long, you may think, oh, that means I have to blot once or twice. No, that's not going to happen. For me, because my skin is so oily, I can't even express how oily it is to you guys. Because it's so oily, I always have to blot. I always have to either touch up with a powder or use the Clean and Clear blotting papers, because my skin is just that oily, which will work out great when I'm older because my skin won't look dry and dull, but now it's a pain in the butt. So yeah, I'm really super impressed with this product. Like I said, there are a couple downsides, and I'll go ahead and recap. The biggest downside, I would say, is the packaging. The price is not the greatest. It's on the higher end of drugstore foundation, so I can say that that is kind of a downfall. But for how much product you get, it is not bad at all. Another downfall is definitely, I mean, like I was saying, the packaging. Besides the price, the packaging is probably the biggest thing for me, is because it's very hunky and bulky, and it weighs a lot, and it just takes up a lot of room in my collection. And another thing with the packaging is the fact of how you have to get it out. I mean, I understand their concept of making it that like creamy mousse foundation and having to put it in a pot like this, but it just is going to collect bacteria like crazy. I don't know, I feel like it's just not the most sanitary product. So I would say those two are like my biggest downfalls on the product. Other than that, I absolutely love this product. As far as lasting 24 hours, I wouldn't say that it lasts 24 hours. I mean, who really is up that long to be able to tell? For me, it lasts a good 8 to 12 comfortably. Anything past that, it starts to oxidize and slip off a bit. But again, who needs their makeup to last longer than even 12 hours? That's just excessive. So for the price and for the amount that you get, I do think that this product is worth it. If you have oily skin especially, I think it would be great at keeping your skin matte. Dry skin, I think it would work well. However, you have to be kind of wary of how you apply it. Like I said, with a very dense brush like this, I feel like it can accent some of your dry spots and maybe make your skin a little bit flaky. If you use a stippling brush, I feel like that's the best way. If you enjoy using your fingers to put on foundation, definitely give it a try and let me know what you think, because it just wasn't my favorite, but that doesn't mean other people aren't going to like it. This is just my opinion after all. So I zoomed you guys in a little bit so that you could see a little bit better. Please excuse everything else on my face besides the foundation, because I haven't done any of my makeup or anything. But I wanted you guys to see the coverage that it kind of gave me. Like I said, I have a couple of active breakouts right here and a few on my cheeks. I'm trying to look in the mirror. I guess that's about it, just these two right here mainly. And if you look close enough, you can still see them. They may not translate on camera too well, but you can still see them a little bit. So I wouldn't say that this is the most full coverage that I've ever used, but I wouldn't say that it's light coverage. It's a cream product, so it can definitely be spread out and thinned out on your face to where it's a very light coverage, but it can be built up. I would say that if you use a dense brush like the F80 from Sigma, you definitely can get super full coverage from that because it's going to apply the foundation a lot thicker to your face. If you use something like this stippling brush or even this stippling brush, you're going to get a little bit lighter coverage because it's just not going to, you're not going to be applying it as thickly to your face. So I definitely would say that this is at best medium to heavy coverage, but I wouldn't go any further than medium just because you can build it up, but a foundation, if it's full coverage, is going to be full coverage from the get-go, and you wouldn't have to build it up. So that's my opinion on that. So yeah, I hope that this review slash demo helped some of you guys out if you were looking or considering picking up this Revlon foundation. Overall, I would definitely recommend it. I think that this is a great foundation, especially for people with oily skin. It really keeps you matte and your oils controlled throughout the day, which is something that I do not ever get in a foundation. The closest foundation that I have probably that works this well is my MAC Pro Longwear, which is double and a half the price of this. And I don't know, I've had that for so long. It's nice to find a Revlon or a drugstore foundation, especially from Revlon, that holds up to my MAC Pro Longwear, which I love. I mean, there are a few cons to this product, but I definitely can say overall that I love this. I will have it probably in my favorites video because I've been wearing it for the last couple days and I can't really see myself wearing anything else, especially during the summertime when I need that oil control completely. So I hope that this helped you guys. Like I said, if you have tried this foundation or if you have seen any other reviews on it that you think that I should check out, definitely leave them in the comments below. And if there are any other products out there that are new right now that you'd like to see a review on, more in-depth and stuff like that, definitely let me know because I did see a bunch of new displays out, but I'm not sure which ones are super new and which ones have been out for a while. So let me know that as well in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye!